Welcome to the Taste of Montana, which is a celebration of food, beverage, and culinary experiences from the great state of Montana.
Yes.
So I'm Rad, and this is my partner in crime,
Vida.
And we are the proprietors of the Taste of Montana.
We are the Taste of Montana.
We are the Taste of Montana.
Company of two.
Not the biggest company in the world.
No,
but that's okay.
but we wear many hats.
Provide made in Montana food products to the public at large.
Yeah, we introduce our producers, small and big, to a larger community online. Mm-hmm. Montana is very good at supporting their own, so they do buy made in Montana, but I thought maybe there's a lot of outsiders that would like to try some of our food.
There you go.
So hence the Taste of Montana.
And the Taste of Montana podcast, which this is the very first episode.
This is the first episode, so it's going to be interesting.
It is going to be interesting. And one of the reasons why we started the Taste of Montana is because being a lifelong Montanan myself, and you have recently been naturalized. We talked to the Council of Elders, and they let you in.
Oh yeah.
You are in. You're in like Flint. But
like what?
In like Flint.
What does that mean?
It's an old way of saying that you're good to go.
Okay. I figured that, just not sure what it.
And one of the issues with Montana when it comes to food is when everyone thinks Montana, they think beef or steak.
Yes.
They go the whole cowboy route. And we love beef. We love steak.
We certainly do.
And there's a lot of great ways to enjoy it. But the state has so much more to offer, which people are doing some really cool food products in the state of Montana, and cool culinary experiences, cool recipes. We have some great recipes coming up. I can't wait. One of them super weird, but that's the next episode. We got to keep that under wraps for right now. But the idea is that we want to show people that Montana has more to offer than a cowboy with a steak.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. So when people think Montana, they, like I said, they usually go to the cowboy thing. But the other thing that some people think about is the Butte Pasty.
Yes.
Which is actually a quintessential Montana food. I mean, I know they have them in
Michigan.
Michigan, but the Montana has like their own spin on it and its own history on it.
Yep.
Vida is our resident pasty expert. How about that for a title?
That's a mouthful title.
You're a pastologist.
I'm a pastologist.
You're a pastitist.
I wouldn't go that far. I just know that I read a couple articles and dug a little deep, and not deep. You can't really go very deep with food history because there isn't much. Right. You just have to depend on people's words, handed down from generation to generation.
Kind of a word-of-mouth legend type thing?
Yes, very much so, because people didn't write down things, and by the time we have evidence of written down history, you're not really sure who was actually, the person who wrote it down isn't necessarily the person that produced it.
Right. They weren't there at the time. They're just telling the story.
Exactly, and then historically they got the credit, but they're not the first to, in any ways, to create that.
So tell us first what a pasty is, and then how it came to be in Montana, the history of the pasty and how it came to be like a Montana staple food.
Okay. I have some cheat sheets that I like to cheat off of, even though I think I know it, but camera and all.
Camera and all. All right, go ahead.
All right. Okay, so in the U.S., the term pasty, in the U.S., the term pasty rhymes with hasty and is more associated with a nipple cover than food. But if you're from Montana or Michigan, you know damn well that is pronounced pasty. It's delicious and it has a historical significance. And the history of it begins, it's a heritage that these two states share, and it goes all the way back to the 1800s, to the gold mine, to the gold rush. Gold, tin, and copper deposits in Montana. It brought with them a whole bunch of immigrants and workers and miners. And when they came to this country, they brought some of their culture with.
And their food with.
Right.
So
back in Ireland, you had the priests that would travel the country and go to the countryside to preach and to help. And as a way to carry their meat, they would put their chopped meat, not diced, and some vegetables, potato and carrots inside of a dough, shape it in a half dome, and carry it with. And when it was time to eat, they would cook the whole thing.
So it's kind of like an Irish calzone.
It's an Irish calzone.
With no sauce.
And no sauce. And you would think that they would be cooking it separately, but it's actually cooked at the same time, everything together over open fire. So this is, so the Cornish found it extremely useful as a way to carry sustenance. So they brought it with them, and as miners, that's what they brought to work with.
My grandma's family's Cornish.
I knew you were going to say something.
Yes. So there's a little Cornish pride. You never hear about Cornish pride. So.
That's too corny.
Well, that had to happen.
Low-hanging fruit. So I thought it was super fascinating because when they when the wife would pack up the lunch for the husband to go to mine, it was cooked already,
right.
And the miners would heat it, put the pasty on top of a shovel. Their hats used to have
a miner's candle.
Candle.
Yeah.
Yes, not even light,
yep.
Candle. So they would hold the shovel over that candle, and then they would reheat their food that way. And that was a way to eat it. It had a very thick ridge, and the thick ridge had a very specific role to play, a very important role to play. First of all, you could hold it better when you have that thick crust.
Right.
Second of all, their hands would be very dirty. So if you have...
so you hold the crust, eat around the crust.
And you would toss the crust. Now, the crust was tossed. That was not sustenance, but it was also tossed to the ghosts of the miners that died.
So it's like the Cornish version of pouring out a 40 for the homies that aren't here?
Yes.
Yeah, you're giving some...
So it was, I don't know, it's because of, remembering all their comrades that died, or whether they were just spooked by ghosts, and they were trying to keep the ghosts happy by feeding them. So that was the
cool.
role of the ridge.
So that doughy, that flaky crust, what we call the crust, is, yeah.
Well, right now the pasties are very small, but back in the day they weighed 2 pounds.
Well, I'm sure you're working in the mines all day.
So it was huge.
Yeah, you need some food.
So you would have, something
so it would fill the shovel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Which is why you would put it on the shovel, because it was so big.
Right. So now it makes it. I was thinking like this little tiny 4-inch thing sitting on a shovel.
No, we got a little dainty over time.
We've got a little dainty. That's the word. We got dainty, severely dainty. So these immigrants come to Butte, Montana to work the copper mines.
Yes. Now, other immigrants also came to Montana. Some of them were from Finland, and they kind of took cue from the Irish and the Cornish, and they started making their own pasties and putting their own spin on it, which is why it led to rumors and misconceptions that the Finnish were the first to create or bring the pasty to us, but they weren't.
Of course it was.
Sorry,
damn Finns.
You guys take second place.
But they'll claim it anyways.
I think so.
Right, and so it's like this perfect grab-and-go food. It can be made in the morning or the day before.
Yes.
Put it in the
the older version of fast food, if you will.
Yeah, pre-cooked, home-cooked fast
Ready
food.
to go, exactly. So all the people that like to put down fast food, take heed.
Now, you said like the typical ingredients are chopped beef.
Yes, chopped beef. Of course, there's going to be dispute over how it's cooked. You cannot, in the world of nutrition and Epicurious, you cannot find two people that can agree on what the proper way of cooking things
like a pizza?
is.
There really is no proper way.
But as this lady Jeanette Carlson in her book called The Pie, not the pie, just pie, A Global History, as she says it, the traditional ingredients of the oggie, as it is called in the Old Cornish language, are naturally disputed. But on some things, most experts agree the meat must be chopped, not minced. So they want chunks of meat, not some foo-foo.
Not, yes.
The vegetables, perhaps potato, onion, and turnip, must be sliced, and the ingredients are not pre-cooked before they are put in the pasty.
So literally, it's just this pastry shell. You put in raw chopped meat, raw vegetables, cook it.
So when you and I cooked pasty.
So when we made pasties from scratch, we went what you could say was foo-foo. Because I think we went
So we cooked it separate. Which I think it's also cooked separately in stores if you were to go order it, right?
And it's almost always ground beef now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of curious if it would turn out if we were to not cook it separately, just, treat it like the old days and see if it actually turns out and if it's delicious.
So are you kind of thinking that maybe we could do a chopped bison pasty?
I don't think, why not?
Why not?
I mean, it's as Montana as it gets.
It gets as Montana as it can get. And this rolls into, on the tasteofmontana.com, we have a recipe for our version of a Butte Pasty using ground beef.
Yes.
And for future reference, we are going to have a recipe for bison pasty, which might be interesting.
That's awesome.
And fun. And as luck would have it, we also have bison meat for sale.
We certainly do.
So we have our meat from Bitterroot Bison.
Bitterroot Bison from down the valley.
Down the valley from us. It's kind of cool to say.
I know some of our producers are very close by, mostly because we started with friends.
Right.
And it makes everything a lot easier to inspect, and not that they need to be inspected, but you just want to see things with your own eyes so you can describe it the best you can. So it's we started with the Bitterroot Bison.
There you go. And what do we have? We have bison chuck roast, bison tenderloin.
Yes.
Bison ossobuco, which is the shanks.
Yeah.
Which are delicious. And of course, ground bison. And during the holiday seasons, a little birdie told me we might have a couple bison prime ribs available. So just setting people's expectations.
I am very well aware that the tenderloins are very few and far in between because they're in demand.
Yeah.
But so if you guys come on our website and you see that the tenderloin's available, get that.
Run. Don't
get it. Yes, because we're always so they're the first to go, followed by the chuck roast, I think.
Yeah.
And ossobuco, I think people are curious, but I don't think a lot of people know what to do with ossobuco.
Right. Once they have it, they have no idea what to do.
Yes, exactly. Which is why we have recipes for you to use.
Montana.
Yes, exactly. You guys, you're back.
We actually do. And part of having our back is we are here in the Lolo Peak tap room.
Yes.
Recording this episode.
Our back right there. Literally.
Our back right there. And after a small little break, we're going to get very seasonal with beer and candy.
Yes.
But it's the spooky season.
Ooh.
So what do you think we're doing with beer and Halloween?
Halloween. Balloween.
Beeroween?
No,
Halloween.
Balloween.
All right. So we'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Ready to light this candle?
Let's do it.
Light this candle for part 2.
Part 2. Oh.
Which is spooky. Whoa.
This is still Mountain Misfits part 1, though.
I know, but this is part 2 of part 1.
All right. Okay.
So, and we're back.
We're back.
And we are going to do a Halloween candy and beer pairing because, not that we have kids, but a lot of people have kids, and I know that a lot of people steal their kids' Halloween candy.
Yes, they do.
And when the kids go to bed.
And admit it.
and they admit it to other adults. To the kids, they lie.
Oh, lots of adults are already pairing their wine with their kids' future candy.
Future candy.
Yeah.
Well, we want you to kind of think about Montana beers and Halloween candy.
Tell me why beer.
One, I love beer. I'm a beer aficionado.
I
have a certain love affair with craft beer.
Yes, he does.
And the pairings with beer, everyone thinks pairings with wine and wine and wine and wine, right? There are so many awesome things you can do with food and beer together.
Yeah.
That just accentuates a whole meal or a candy snack.
Yeah.
As a late night when the kids sleep.
Also, I think a lot of people think that ladies are most likely to drink wine. And wine and candy and wine and chocolate, but it's our experience, or maybe it's the Montana experience, that a lot of girls like their beer. Some of them,
big beers.
Yes, some of them like their beer very hoppy and very bitter.
Well, also the Russian Imperial stouts, all the stouts, either Russian Imperial or Standard Stout or porters. The majority of the people that order those are ladies that we've seen when we've worked in tap rooms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or you can also see them on Instagram. Just look for the hashtag craft beer babes.
Craft beer babes. Oh.
And you're welcome.
Yeah. To all the guys out there,
you
need to thank her for that. You're going to see a lot of things you can't unsee.
Yeah, beer and babes.
Beer and babes.
Well, I'm sure everyone knows that by now.
No,
I'm serious.
I'm sure there's some people that are like first time are really coming onto this.
Yes? So we might have
tatas in beer together.
Yeah.
Where has this been my whole life?
Okay, well, if that's your experience, then we're happy to have introduced you to a whole new world.
That's right. Shout out to Hoppy Floppy.
Whoa.
So let's start doing we have a flight of 4 beers from Lolo Peak Brewing Company, and we are just going to step through these beers and pair them with some readily available commercial candies.
Yes.
And then we'll have a little sneak surprise at the end of this pairing.
Sounds good to me.
We need to save a little bit of beer.
Okay.
So let's start with the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
That's my favorite.
All right. Well, favorite should always go first. You shouldn't save it for last. That's always been my... Now this should be really good because what we're going to do is we're going to pair the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, and of course everybody knows what a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is.
Yes.
But we're actually going to pair it with a porter, and in this case, this is a coffee-infused porter.
Yes.
So you're going to get that richness of the milk chocolate working with the roasted notes of the porter, and the peanut butter with the porter. And the
so you said coffee porter.
Coffee.
Does that mean I'm gonna be hopped up and jacked up and chill all at the same time?
I think you're gonna get more jacked up than anything because you're getting sugar too.
Okay.
All right, so let's every time we do a pairing, it's always the same thing. It's sip, bite, sip.
Okay.
All right.
So you picked the porter.
So pick the porter. And I have it out for you.
Any reason?
Well, and that's the pairing, is the roasted notes of the porter and the subtle sweetness of the porter.
Yeah.
Will go good with the peanut butter.
Okay, so you're pairing, this is not complimentary. This
is complimentary.
Is it?
Yeah, and we'll start, we might as well jump in the first
I was trying to lead you to it.
I know you're leading me. I used to harp on this on a previous show. There are 3 C's of beer tasting.
Yeah.
It's compare, contrast, and complement.
Yeah.
This is a complement play. So these are 2 flavors that just kind of play well together. They complement each other.
Accentuate.
Contrast is vastly different, and it's exciting to your taste buds. And compare are similars. So fruit with fruit. So
if you're gunning for the sweetness of the porter and then having that with this, which is sweet, would that not be...
The peanut butter, it's the richness of the peanut butter with the roasted notes. So I'm thinking more of the roasted notes of the porter, not being overly sweet.
You know what? I actually just want to have it.
Just dig in.
Nerding out is okay, but I think there's such a thing as too much nerding out.
You're overcompensating.
Yes, paralysis by analysis.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. This is the porter?
Yep.
They changed it.
Yeah, new glasses.
Nice.
All right. And I'll go with my shot. So...
It's cold, though.
Vita's an expert taster, and she already violated the rules.
Did I?
Sip.
Oh.
Bite.
I did it backwards. Works?
Coffee board with Reese's peanut butter cup. Rules. Not every pairing will work out. Sometimes they just don't work out. So that's kind of the fun of doing flights of beer with like different foods. You just don't know what's going to work. And sometimes you do something that works out when you didn't think it would. So the next one is one of those.
One of those.
So we're going to pair M&Ms, just regular old chocolate M&Ms. You want to grab that bag? And we are going to pair that with an English pale ale. All right, you want to give me a couple of those? So the idea is the English pale ale is relatively crisp and clean.
Yeah.
Not overly sweet, not overly hoppy. And I want that kind of that crispness of the beer to kind of cut through the chocolate of the M&M.
Okay.
So
I have one.
Here's a couple M&Ms. And
which color should I pick?
There's a thing we used to say when I was kids, but I won't say it.
What?
Pick the green one.
There isn't one. There isn't a green one.
I know, but there used to be. You do the green M&Ms because they make you horny.
Oh, shush.
That's what they used to say when I was a kid.
Okay.
I remember.
Oh, this is the one.
Remember?
Oh, should I? Oh.
Oh, Vita's just breaking rules today. That's all right. Rules are meant to be broken. So I'm looking at her face. I'm trying to figure out if she likes it. What's your verdict?
What's this?
English pale ale.
So you know that I'm not the biggest fan of IPAs. So adding a little bit of sweetness definitely helps.
Mm-hmm. Actually.
What do you think?
You know what? Truth be told, I don't think it works as well for me as I thought it would.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it worked better than the previous one.
Oh, well, that's why everyone has their own taste
I know,
buds.
everyone has different taste buds. People don't taste the same things the same.
No.
Because people have different, depending on where you grew up and what kind of food you were exposed to, your genetic background, and a lot of different things. People experience different tastes to different levels and different intensity. Like these days, I smell garlic from miles away.
She has been complaining endlessly about the odor of garlic that I cannot smell at all.
Yeah, I think it's from our neighbor's house.
It's totally from the neighbor's house. I want you to think about that. You're smelling garlic from the neighbor's house.
So what I was trying to get at is these are not hard and fast rules. These are not facts. We're just playing around.
Well, they're individual. They're individual, right? Everyone has their own thing. There's not
personalized.
There's like guidelines. Let's call them guidelines. They're the gutters that help you along your way.
True that. Just gutters, just
certain little.
Yeah. There's freedom to do a lot of things, but within some parameters.
Now let's do one that has no parameters.
Okay.
Because this is a new one. So I was gonna get Hershey's chocolate, but then I upgraded a little bit. And when I mean a little bit, I upgraded the teeniest, weeniest bit to the Dove milk chocolate bar. And we're going to pair that with the Hazy IPA from Lolo Peak Brewing.
Hazy.
Can
I say something?
Yes.
I'm not the biggest fan of Dove, but I am the biggest fan of Hazies. So I'm not going to do this.
You're not going to do this?
No, it's going to ruin my Hazy.
Okay, I will jump in solo.
You do that.
So here we go with the sip. Chocolate.
My turn.
It's a 7 out of 10. And the idea behind this pairing was hazy IPAs have a certain fruit character. Mm-hmm. Mango, guava, pineapple. These sort of tropical fruit flavors. And I thought that would go against chocolate, fruit and chocolate.
Yeah. It really didn't.
Now maybe with dark chocolate, not milk chocolate, maybe it'll be different.
Yeah.
But at Halloween, who gets dark chocolate? I remember when they give you they give you the dark chocolate when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That was an instant
Why?
garbage. Because it's terrible.
Dark chocolate is better than
Not when you're
milk
8.
chocolate. Oh, true that.
When you're 8, that's death.
Whenever we go to the store looking for Halloween candy, I look for the dark chocolate ones, actually.
Yeah. Well, now we're all grown up.
Sophisticated.
We're growing up.
We're adulting by switching from milk chocolate to dark chocolate.
Well, let's get back on the milk chocolate jag with the classic Kit Kat.
Yes.
So break off a stick.
Speaking of Kit Kat, you guys, if you go to the store and you see mocha Kit Kat, grab that stuff.
Oh, that mocha Kit Kat is delicious.
I've tried so many different flavors of Kit Kat, and mocha Kit Kat is my favorite by far.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to pair this with a Scotch ale.
Okay.
Kit Kat with Scotch ale.
I want to do it right this time.
Now, this is a compliment because Kit Kats have the wafers in there, so they're a little bit malty.
Yeah.
Kit Kats and
Yeah.
almost a nutty, like a bake. Well, Scotch ales have that maltiness, that breadiness. So the idea is to do a Scotch. So this is a compliment.
Nice.
You have to have another sip. Take
Right,
your bite.
another
Sip. Bite. Another sip. And the verdict.
It's good, but nothing mind blowing.
I just broke the rules. I went right in for the Kit Kat. No first sip. Oh, sorry. Guidelines. We can make up for whatever we want to do. I don't have to follow anything.
As the Dalai Lama said, rules are meant to be broken. I think that's who said it. Someone said it.
I don't think that was a Dalai Lama. I think that was a llama named Dolly. So let's do a special treat though. Because we've been doing these regular chocolates you find in the grocery store, and they're all well and good.
We all have access to this.
But it so happens at the Taste of Montana,
yes.
one of our producers is a chocolatier out of Stevensville called the Montana Chocolate Company.
Yes.
And she does fantastic little chocolates.
Everything is handmade, hand dipped, hand painted. So this is a very high quality, gourmet, premium chocolate. This is something you can gift to your loved one, to yourself, and anyone who you need to get on. Yes, exactly. Anyone you need to impress. Maybe your boss.
Maybe your boss.
Maybe your wife. Man. So if you're in the doghouse, you need to show up with this.
Oh, look at that.
And impress your lady with this assortment.
What about the dudes? Dudes would be impressed.
You know, I just never know what to gift dudes. Do you give chocolate to dudes?
Usually beer and jerky works better.
I know.
Chocolate
which is why.
Too.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
really?
Secretly. Oh yeah, dudes love chocolate.
They just don't want to admit. Okay, I'm just gonna give a quick intro of what's what, maybe.
Oh, I can't even remember what's
This is the white raspberry, white chocolate and raspberry, huckleberry and white chocolate, ginger. These are all truffles, by the way. So a harder crust and a very creamier interior. Creamier interior.
And Belgians.
Salted caramel. Some of them have what's that? Marshmallows. Yeah. Marshmallows. That one's my favorite. So anyhow, they all have different fillings. It's a nice little surprise on your taste buds. And mix and match and enjoy.
Sure. So let's grab two. And I wanted them to be mysteries because I couldn't remember. So you just grab two randos, and we're gonna go from there. I'm gonna close my eyes, and whatever my hand hits, I'm picking. Okay.
What are you gonna do with that?
I don't know. It's a mystery. Your turn. Eyes closed. Pick your chocolate. I know what you're doing.
Okay.
You are feeling it.
Oh shit! This is not my favorite. Seriously?
That's okay.
No.
Oh, you're such a cheater. Not only are our eyes going open and close, open and close.
Get this. I know this is Belgian, I think. And I like it because this has this pink sheen on it. And you think it's not supposed to be edible because it's pretty. But it's edible.
All right. So let's dig into a cup of chocolate.
So what am I supposed to do?
We're going to taste these with the beer. So pick your own beer.
And do what?
We're going to taste the Montana Chocolate Company chocolates with beer.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
And see which one works best.
Yeah, I want you to try to pick the one you think will work best.
Okay. I just want to see what the game is. That's all. Okay, so I got to taste it first.
All right. So I know that I got the ginger one. And without tasting it first, I'm going to go ginger with
I know what it
IPA
is.
because ginger, tropical fruit, maybe it works. So we'll give it a shot. Here we go.
So, guys, this is the amaretto. So it has almond. And I'm going to go with...
Quick side note, amaretto does not have almonds.
No?
Amaretto is made from peach pits.
Yes.
Which are in the same family as almonds, and they have the peach pits, the seeds, have a similar flavor to almonds.
Fascinating. I used to eat peach pits when I was a kid.
Yeah. Okay, the ginger chocolate with the hazy IPA
Works?
is awesome.
This doesn't work.
Well, that seemed to work out really well for you. The face. Now, I did notice how instead of picking one, Vita's just working the flight. You're going to find She found a winner.
We have a winner.
Good.
But you know what? Amaretto is hard to match or pair with anything.
So you paired the amaretto with the English pale ale.
Yes.
All right.
I'm not going anywhere near the hazy. That's just to let you know.
Let's give it a shot here.
Oh, you ate my whole thing.
I ate a good portion. You're right. That works really well.
Can I have some of your...
No, it's all gone. You cannot have.
Okay.
It is gone. So, beer and delicious chocolates from the Montana Chocolate Company come in boxes of 24.
24.
And good variety.
Yes, it's a very good variety. It's a nice treat. So if you had a hard, long day and you want to give yourself a little treat, a little reward for working your ass off, get yourself a box.
It is. Well, I think on the very first episode of the Taste of Montana podcast, we should wrap it up.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying talking to people. But yeah, maybe they're not enjoying listening to us. So maybe we should wrap it up.
Gotta wrap it up. She could talk forever now. She's had the caffeine, a little bit of beer.
I know, I should go
and
run.
Sugar.
Yes.
She's ready to go.
Totally.
So, like we said, we're the Taste of Montana. And if you search the Taste of Montana, and I don't care what platform you're on, we're there.
thetasteofmontana.com on your Google.
Right.
On Facebook and on Instagram, The Taste of Montana. Oh, yes, YouTube. I keep forgetting about that.
TikTok, even though we're not terribly
No,
active.
we're not.
We have a TikTok account. We're just not terribly active.
Does this mean we have to start dancing and shit?
We are going to start dancing while we eat. So just any platform you want to follow what we're doing, what we have available. We're always doing new recipes, new beer in the woods, beer on hiking, backcountry beers. We have a lot more stuff coming up.
We have lots of stuff coming up, and just don't be shy to say hi.
Right, in this podcast.
We do not bite.
This podcast.
At least not at first.
You say that, and there's absolutely no correct way for me to maneuver somehow around that. So let's tell. Oh, the other thing we have to remember is we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, any podcast platform that you know of, we're there.
Yeah.
Google Play, you can find us and follow, and subscribe to us there as well.
Okay, yeah, we would appreciate it.
All right, so I guess we're out.
I guess this is goodbye.
For now.